Hello, everybody, and welcome to podcast number 12. This is Lakers Talk with Gerald. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Hey, look, it's Christmas today, December 25th, 2018. Guess what? While all the other podcasters out there and all the other legit, episodes are at home with their families, you're not going to get a podcast today on holidays on a Tuesday, December 25th. You're just not going to get it. Yeah, but guess what? Here I am putting this work in, putting this podcast out. I'm here to tell you about these Lakers, give you your information, give you the news that you've been waiting on. It's been a few days since I last put one out for you guys. There's been a few Lakers games since then. There's been one win and one loss. So this is kind of in-betweener for me. Usually when I talk to you, we either had a loss or one win, and usually you can tell my mood a little bit. I don't know if you guys can tell a little bit in the background. I have some Miles Davis going. A little bit of that instrumental, that easy jazz too, because we've had a loss in there. So if you haven't noticed, one of the reoccurring themes whenever there's a loss between the last time you talked to me, you're going to hear some easy listening, some jazz in the background. Just a little something. But I want you guys to listen for just a couple seconds. I mean, this is kind of nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll get you right there. That'll get you right. So that's Miles Davis. He's going to be just, entertaining us in the background while I continue this. As I talked about, Merry Christmas once again, everybody. Holidays. I want to make sure I acknowledge you all out there. I hope you guys are having a great time. I hope you're with your families. I know you guys are probably, opening up your presents, drinking your eggnog, depending on what you do on Christmas. I mean, I know you all got something. You adults out there, I'm sure, after you got all your presents, stressing getting all these presents and getting them wrapped and getting them together so your kids can open them up and be happy. Now it's your time. Your time to relax and chill and just sip on that eggnog. I'm sure you put a little extra something in it, that adult juice that we put inside that eggnog, just to get you just right. All right, so yeah, I mean, hey, big ups to all y'all out there doing all that, all y'all great parents doing those things for y'all children out there. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into these Lakers. Let's talk about what's going on. So there were two games since the last time we had a podcast. As I mentioned, the Lakers lost the last one. They won the first one. And we actually have a game today. So I'm putting this out. And we're going to talk about a game preview of that also, of today's game against the Golden State Warriors. So that's going to be something right there. It's going to be hopefully a great game. Hopefully it's going to be a close game. And I mean, ultimately, we want the Lakers to pull this off. If we can pull this off, it's going to mean a hell of a lot. It will be amazing. All right. So enough about that. I'm also going to talk about the first game the Lakers played, the first win in the last few days, and that was against the New Orleans Pelicans. So we ended up beating them 112 to 104. Now, in that game, that was at the Staples Center that we played that game. A lot of us, our team played really well. LeBron James ended up having a triple-double. He had 22 points, 14 assists, and 12 rebounds. That was his, I believe, his third triple-double of the season. Kuzma played well also. Kuzma ended up having 22 points. He didn't have a whole lot on the assists and rebounds. He just had 1 assist, 3 rebounds. But he was 8 out of 15 field goals, so that was good. That's always good when you're shooting well. And with that, I mean, Kuzma, he's been playing really well, as I've been talking about this season when it comes to playing with LeBron. And he's continuing to do that. Right now, he's our second leading scorer. If you don't know, he's averaging right now 18.1 points a game. So that's decent. That's getting it done. I mean, last year he led the Lakers just barely in scoring at 16.1. I believe he was actually tied with Ingram and Randall. I believe all three of them averaged 16.1 points. But Kyle Kuzma being a rookie last year, that's something that we just did not expect of him. He was not drafted high, so he was a surprise for us. It was an upside for us. When he played well, everybody was like, wow, we got a steal. And we really did. Because nobody had no idea who Kyle Kuzma was. I'm not going to lie. I watched the draft and I kept up with, that day when we picked the players. And when they announced that we got Kyle Kuzma, I'm like, who the heck is this dude? I never heard of this guy, And what I do is I immediately go look that player up, look at his scouting report, watch videos of his college game. And he played 3 years in college. And so I went back looking at his stats, looking at his highlights. And even in college, he didn't seem that, he looked okay. He did lead his team in scoring. But he just didn't look all that. I mean, he didn't look like he was going to be a star player. He didn't look like he was going to have a great impact, especially his first year. Just didn't seem, it seemed kind of average. He didn't seem like he was super athletic. He didn't seem like he had super great shooting or super great footwork. He just seemed okay, for a 6'9" player. So I had no idea. I mean, so last year when he came out just scorching, I mean, he had I believe he even had a 40-point game against, or 39-point game against Houston, and hit about 6, 7, 8 3-pointers, something like that. I mean, the guy just had an unbelievable season last year. This year, not a lot of people thought that he was going to continue that because they didn't believe he had a great upside. But as you can see, I mean, he's still doing pretty well. He's averaging 18.1 points per game, 5.7 assists, 5.7 rebounds, and 2.3 assists. I mean, with LeBron James, that's damn good. And I hope he continues it. I said earlier this year that I really want him to average somewhere around 20 points a game. I'm hoping his points per average increases from now on. I mean, he's at 18.1. That's good. But I really want him to be that second All-Star. I do. I mean, Brandon Ingram, I want him to break out also. So far, he hasn't really had a breakout yet. And it's probably because, too, that, he's been out 4 or 5 games for the suspension for the fight. And then he got hurt with the ankle injury. And so then that kept him out a bunch of games. So he hasn't really been able to get his footing and get his stride and everything. But with that being said, in the New Orleans game was his first game back after that injury. So he ended up having a decent game, actually. He had 18 points, 7 rebounds. I mean, so that was damn good. He actually looked pretty good in the win. He had some pretty good plays. He really looked like he hadn't really taken much time off. And one thing I like, too, is, I mean, well, he looked decent from the free throw line, I thought. When he was gone, right now we're currently believe the last place in free throw shooting. So to me, it was kind of good to see him shooting. His free throw form looked pretty good. Overall, I just liked the way he played. He shot 6-14 field goals, just under 50%. He didn't make a 3-pointer in that game, but overall, I actually was happy to see him back. He actually gave good input to the game, good defense, with his long arms and things like that. In this game, none of you guys know, but Tyson Chandler has been playing backup. But really what I wanted to talk about was our center, JaVale McGee. He has been out the last few games, actually. He actually has had the flu or symptoms of that. And word was that he had to be hospitalized for a few days even. So I was surprised to hear that. So that really means he has been having a hard time. I mean, he really has been sick. Not just sniffling and sneezing and, people wondering I know he can come out there and play. Michael Jordan played and he had the flu back in the day. He scored 40-some points. Well, I mean, when you're really sick, those of you that's been sick out there, trust me, you can't do nothing. I remember having days where I could not move from the couch or the bed, and I'm throwing up every 5 minutes, and it was coming out other places too. We all know how that goes. I'm not going to the detail here, but you know what I'm talking about. So that sounds like what was going on. I don't know exactly what was, but something like that. He had it bad, like Usher said. All right, so he hasn't been able to play, but in his absence, Zubac has actually been starting, and we actually thought he might have been washed up. We were it kind of seeming like he wasn't getting counted on, because he was the actual center. He's been with the team for the last 3 years, right? So when the season started, there was a lot of talk of the Lakers not having a center, and they were playing small ball, and we were getting used down low by all the big centers in the league, and we pretty much just discounted Zubac. The dude is a 7-footer. We weren't playing him. We weren't even thinking about him. We were just like, man, we don't have a center. We need to go get a center. And true, don't get me wrong, he wasn't really playing very well. He wasn't really showing us. He was kind of playing kind of weak early in the season, so he didn't really get a lot of minutes. And then when he did get minutes, he was playing against legit all-star type centers, and he didn't look that great. But in this game against New Orleans, he came in, was just, balling out, getting dunk after dunk, score after score. He ended up having 16 points, 11 rebounds. I mean, he was 8 out of 10 field goals. I mean, the guy was just playing outstanding out there. I believe he made his first 4 or 5 shots or something like that in a row. LeBron was just feeding him down low for dunk after dunk. I mean, they was just catching this guy, and he was just playing. He had good footwork in this game. He was holding his own against excuse me, the Pelicans and Anthony Davis. I mean, of course, Anthony Davis ended up having 30 points, 20 rebounds, but I know that's hard to say he's holding his own, but I mean, he did damn well for a guy that hadn't barely played, get his first start of the season, and gonna do that for us. So good job, Ivica Zubac. Damn good. We appreciate you stepping up like that. Kudos to you. All right, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball ended up having 12 points, 5 rebounds, and just 2 assists. I mean, he was 5 out of 10 field goals, so 50%. That's always going to be pretty good. He was 2 out of 3 3-pointers, 33%. For him, that's actually above his average, so I will take that all day. From the bench, we didn't have a lot of guys that scored a whole lot, but, Rondo was his first game back also. So that's another great impact from the bench that we actually had been missing, his leadership and his assists off the bench. So he came in, being normal Rondo. He played 22 minutes. He ended up having 8 points and 9 assists. He was second in assists. So, man, it's crazy. It's not too many teams, think about it, that has 2 guys that can get 9 to 10 assists a game. And that's kind of where you're at when you have the Lakers. If it's not LeBron James and Lonzo, or usually it's LeBron James and Rondo, they're kind of switching back and forth. You might have, we might have another game where, 2 of those players have a triple-double again. And that was the first time in 30 or so years. But anyway, just talking about all the great details and all the we really do have a deep team if you think about it. We got guys that can do multiple things. We have guys that could, that are good at passing. We have guys good at rebounding. We have guys that can do a multitude of things. So, yeah, you had a few other guys in that game that, came off the bench. Caldwell Pope came in, made a 3-pointer. Josh Hart made a couple. So, a good overall game for us. We needed that win. New Orleans was trying to, they're right close in the playoff hunt too. And so are we. So we end up winning that game once again. New Orleans Pelicans 104-112 at the Staples Center. Side note, Anthony Davis balled. The storyline was, Lakers trying to get Anthony Davis, and, LeBron caught a lot of flack lately, how just mentioned how he would love to play with Anthony Davis, whatever. General managers were upset. Some of these small market teams were upset, saying that what LeBron did was, a violation and tampering and all that kind of stuff. But, they're just going to have to suck it because, look, players can say they want to play with anybody they want. That's just what it is. It's not enticing this guy to sign with the Lakers. If he wants to come, or eventually it would have to be a trade anyway, it's going to be what it is. It's him saying he wants to play is not going to change anything, in my opinion. So, Anthony Davis had 30 points, 20 rebounds. Good game. They said he had a cold also. Hey, and Julius Randle, first game back at the Staples Center. He actually got Lakers actually gave him first they called out his name, Julius Randle, first game back, they asked to give him applause, and the Lakers actually did give him applause and gave him some dap. And I was actually happy to see that. I really was, because I really, really liked Julius Randle. I did. We drafted him 7th picks 3 or 4 years back, something like that. He broke his leg in his first game, regular season game, missed his first season, and then came back, and he's really been getting better and better every year. So I'm very, very proud of Julius Randle. I really did not want to lose him, but he is now averaging somewhere close to 19 points a game, or 19.3 points a game. So that's damn good. He's averaging a career high. I think he's almost averaging a double-double also. He's getting them rebounds. He's right around 9.4, so right close to a double-double. So first game back, I was happy to see that. He played well in the game, but the Lakers got the W. So now on to the next game. Now, this is the game the Lakers actually lost. I was not happy about this loss. I thought we could have got this win. As that tends to be the way I feel most times the Lakers lose. But I thought we could have got this win against the Grizzlies. The Lakers just didn't. They looked good, good in the first half and certain parts of this game. I really, really thought we could have got this win. Lakers just didn't in the fourth quarter. I didn't like the way we were playing. I didn't like our defense. Memphis was shooting lights out in the fourth quarter. For what I heard, they made their last 7 3-point attempts in the fourth quarter. So, the Lakers were shooting 3-pointers and they were missing it. Specifically, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball was 0 from 7 from 3-point range. He was in the fourth quarter playing. Memphis would go down, hit a 3. We would come down, pass around, hit Lonzo for an open corner 3, and he would miss it. That happened a couple times, and he just missed each one. He did not make one 3-pointer. You can't trade. If they're making 3s and we're missing them, that's going to cause the game right there, and that was our demise in this game. Not just Lonzo Ball, but, he did not make one. So it's one of those ones. He kind of tends to go up and down like a yo-yo. There's some games where he'll shoot well from 3-point range and make 3-4 3-pointers, and there's other ones just like this where he'll lay an egg and go 0 from 7. I'm really hoping he'll eventually get that together. I'm really hoping he'll eventually get the feel for his shot, because in college, he shot 41% from 3-point range in college. And I know a lot of you will say, okay, it's not 3-point range in college. However, if you watch this college game and go look at the highlights, he shot a lot of his 3s in college from NBA range 3-point shooting. So we know he can shoot from range. He just needs to get it together. I don't know exactly, but, I hope that it will all come together. Because when he plays great, there's no stopping us. When he plays great, we can, along with James and Kuzma and Ingram doing their thing, there's no stopping us. That's what's going to take us to the next level. So, all right, so Lakers played Memphis. That was on Sunday. We lost 107-99. Stats inside the game. The Lakers, Kuzma, he played 37 minutes but only had 11 points. He had 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He did make 2 of 6 3-pointers, but he only took 8 total field goals. So out of that, 6 of them were 3-point shots. I don't like that stat because I want Kuzma to have a lot more shots than that. I want him to at least have 12 to 14 field goals per game. He didn't have that, and honestly, I can't say that affected the whole game like that, but I think he needs to be our second or third leading scorer. LeBron James, he ended up having 22 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. Typical LeBron James. He didn't score quite as much in this game. He was 8 of 14 field goals. He did all right, and he was doing for the most part. He probably could have been a little more aggressive, scoring-wise. But he did a good job. He did his thing. Brandon Ingram ended up having 20 points, actually. He was 8 of 15 field goals. So, second game back from his injury, and he's actually played well both games. Even though it didn't turn out to a W in this game, he did play well. I was happy to see that. Somebody else that still played well the next game, his second game starting, is Ivica Zubac. 19 points. I believe it's definitely a season high. It might even be a career high for him. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that but I'm pretty sure if not, it's one of his best scoring games. Field goal shooting, and once again he was 8 for 12. Plus 13 in this game. He actually had the highest plus minus. Wow. That's amazing because the only player on the Lakers team with a plus in this game was Lonzo Ball with a +1. Wow. Everybody else had minuses. That means that his impact in the game really did mean something. You know what? That makes me think, what happened in the fourth quarter? Was he not playing as many minutes in the fourth? Maybe that was what it was. Seems like we might have to play him a little more. So this game, we actually were very short-handed at center. So we not only were missing Tyson Chandler, and we were missing JaVale McGee. We had been missing him the last several games, but now Tyson Chandler was out with back spasms. So, wow. We were just so short-handed. As soon as we get Ingram and Rondo back, we lose our centers. So we weren't at full strength, but even not being at full strength, I thought we could have got this game. I thought we could have got this W. We end up not getting it, and that was the game. That's what it is. It's time to move on. Now it's time for the exciting part. On to Christmas Day today, December 25th. The Lakers are meeting the Golden State Warriors for the first time this year. The first time LeBron being on the Lakers. It's not going to be at the Staples Center. It's going to be up at Golden State's arena. It's going to be a big game. I know the crowd is going to be just hyped. It's going to be just going crazy. It's going to be nuts. Like I said, I'm hoping the Lakers have a good game. I'm hoping they come ready. We are still not going to be full strength, though. We are going to still be missing JaVale McGee, from what I understand. I hope Tyson Chandler is back because we need a backup center out there. We need a good rotation. I believe we're going to start Zubac again because he's been playing well. He's been scoring pretty well. He's actually been getting some good blocks also. He had a big block that I didn't mention in the win against when we played New Orleans Pelicans against Julius Randle, actually. So I don't want to backtrack too much, but yeah, he's been playing well. So I believe he's going to get the start against Golden State Warriors tonight. And hopefully he plays well. I'm really hoping that Tyson Chandler is back because we're going to need him as a backup center for our good rotation. That way we don't lose a whole lot when the center goes out. I really, really wish that JaVale McGee was going to be playing this game, but I believe he's still feeling sick and having some problems, so he won't be there. But look forward to this being a great game. Man, I'm curious to see how Golden State looks against us. I'm curious to see if they come out trying to just just go hard against us. Steph Curry, I mean, will we be able to maintain him? Well, the question is, can anybody maintain, keep him from scoring? So most likely no. I anticipate him just getting all kind of open looks because, that guy just constantly stays moving from one corner to the next. Great ball handle. Can get to the cup. And then you got Kevin Durant, who's listed as probable for this game. So, I really want them to be there. I want the Lakers to get a win, but at the same time, I want Golden State to be full strength because this is a measuring stick for the Lakers. I want to see how they play against the very best with LeBron James and the young guys. I want to see how they step up in this big game situation. Are they going to be able to handle the bright lights? When we go to the playoffs, this is that playoff atmosphere that they're going to have to deal with. So this is going to be the first time I think that it's going to have that playoff intensity. And against the best team that's won 3 out of 4 championships, this is a great measuring stick. I really want Kyle Kuzma to come out just balling. I really want LeBron James coming out being playoff LeBron. I want Rajon Rondo doing playoff Rondo that they talk about. Lonzo Ball, come on, bro. Every time. Now, the good thing about Lonzo Ball is so far in his brief NBA career, whenever we seem to play the Warriors, he does seem to step up. He does seem to hit big shots, and I'm hoping that stays the same. I'm hoping he just balls out, engaged, ready for this game, and ready to just bring it to these Warriors. Ooh, it's going to be great. You got KD going up against Ingram. Ingram tends to come out, too, whenever he's playing against Kevin Durant. Tends to play really well. Tends to show what everybody was seeing in him. So, man, this is going to be so exciting. We got our young team against the Golden State Warriors. We got it's going to be fun. This is going to be a good game. I'm so hyped right now. Can't wait till this happens. I'm going to do another podcast tomorrow. We got to go over all the detail. I'm going to go over everything we saw. Hopefully it was a great game. I'm just going to be going over so many great stats. And trust me, it's going to be some celebration music if the Lakers get this W. Not only that, if it's an exciting game and exciting plays and the Lakers do it in just an exciting fashion and we get the W. And, I like talking about games and feeling good and seeing like great signs from the great players, and LeBron James and seeing our young players step up. Guys, I'm excited. I know you're excited. It's going to be a great game. Yeah. All right. Yeah, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Let's get this W. That's going to wrap it for this podcast. Number 12. Keep it moving on to the next. Hope you guys Merry Christmas. Out.